This is how all 30 NBA owners made their money to buy their NBA team, and what they paid for it. First, the Miami Heat, bought by Mickey Arison for $32.5 million. He served as Carnival Corp CEO for 32 years. They're the world's largest cruise ship company. The Milwaukee Bucks, Jimmy Haslam, for $3.5 billion. That's the valuation that he bought in at. Started his career with Pilot in 1976. By 1980, he was named Vice President of Sales, Development, and Operations. The Minnesota Timberwolves, Alex Rodriguez, should be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, made hundreds of millions of dollars playing ball, and is now broadcasting on TV, along with his business partner on the deal, Mark Lowry, who was the CEO and co-founder of Quidsy, the parent company of a family of websites, including Diapers.com. Quidsy was sold in 2011 to Amazon for $545 million. The New Orleans Pelicans for $338 million, owned and operated by Gail Benson. Following the death of her husband, Tom Benson, she became the principal owner of the Saints and the Pelicans in 2018. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Clay Bennett, $350 million. An American businessman who has a net worth of over $400 million, born in Oklahoma City, Clay Bennett is the chairman of Dorchester Capital. The Orlando Magic, Richard DeVos, who paid $85 million for the franchise. DeVos and his school friend Jay Van Andel founded Amway in 1959 as a multi-level marketing business to distribute cleaning products. The Philadelphia 76ers, Josh Harris, $280 million valuation. He co-founded the private equity firm Apollo Global Management with former Drexel associates Leon Black and Mark Rowan. The Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia, who recently bought the team for $4 billion. Ishbia became the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage, a mortgage lender founded by his father in 1986. The Portland Trail Blazers, Jody Allen, originally bought by Paul Allen for $70 million. Co-founded Vulcan Inc. with her brother to manage their family's business and charitable endeavors. They are actively selling this franchise. The Sacramento Kings, Vivek Ranadivé, $535 million price paid. He founded Technicron Software Systems, Tibco Software, and Bow Capital. The San Antonio Spurs, Peter John Holt, who paid $76 million. He worked for an investment banking house and started a bar and restaurant business. The New York Knicks, James Dolan, originally bought for $600 million. He oversees all operations within the company. That includes the Sphere, that includes Madison Square Garden Entertainment, it includes the Rangers and the Knicks, among some other properties. The Toronto Raptors, Larry Tenenbaum, who paid $90 million for that franchise. He is the chairman and CEO of Kilmer Van Nostrand Company. The Utah Jazz, Ryan Smith, $1.6 billion. Co-founder of Qualtrics, a Utah-based online survey software company, one of the fastest growing tech startups in the history of Utah. The Washington Wizards, Ted Leonsis, $551 million. He built his fortune as a senior executive at AOL, having worked there for over 14 years at the company. The Atlanta Hawks, Tony Ressler, $850 million. He earned his fortune in the private equity industry. Tony is a co-founder of both Apollo Global Management and Ares Management, which have $500 and $300 billion respectively in assets under management. The Boston Celtics, Wyc Grousbeck, who paid $360 million for the franchise. Wyc co-founded Causeway Media Partners, a private equity firm managing over $340 million, focusing on sports, technology, and all related investments. The Brooklyn Nets, Joe Tsai, $3.3 billion. As co-founder and a major stakeholder in Alibaba, that's where the Nets owner has made most of his money. The Hornets, recently acquired from Michael Jordan, the GOAT, by Gabe Plotkin and his associates for over $3 billion. He founded Melvin Capital Management, a New York-based hedge fund with over $3.5 billion in assets under management. The Chicago Bulls, acquired for $19 million by Jerry Reinsdorf after Michael Jordan was drafted. Talk about the deal of this list. Reinsdorf made his first fortune in real estate co-founding Balcor Company in 1973 and selling it 9 years later to American Express. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert, $375 million. He co-founded what would become Quicken Loans, the largest mortgage lender in the United States of America. Arguably the most famous owner now, Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks, paid $285 million. Mark Cuban co-founded video portal Broadcast.com with fellow Indiana University alum Todd Wagner in 1995 and sold it to Yahoo for $5.7 billion in 1999. One of the best sales, and he made some really smart moves around it too. The Nuggets, Stan Kroenke, who paid $750 million for the franchise, founded the Kroenke Group in 1983, a real estate development firm that has built shopping centers and apartment complexes. The Detroit Pistons, Tom Gores, $325 million paid for the franchise. He's the founder of Platinum Equity, a private equity firm headquartered in Beverly Hills, California. The Golden State Warriors, Joe Lacob and Peter Guber, paid $450 million for the franchise. As it stands, the most valuable franchise in the NBA. Joe Lacob established his own venture capital firm, Kleiner Perkins Lacob Partners, and Peter Guber is a film and TV producer with a net worth in excess of $800 million. Probably a lot more, considering the team's raised valuation. The Houston Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, lowest price paid on this list, $2.2 million for the franchise. Derived from his sole ownership of Fertitta Entertainment, the Houston, Texas-based owner of Golden Nugget casinos and restaurant chains, including Bubba Gump Shrimp, Mastro's Steakhouse, and Rainforest Cafe, among others. The Indiana Pacers, Herbert Simon, $10.5 million paid for the franchise. Chairman of the shopping mall developer Simon Property Group. The Los Angeles Clippers, Steve Ballmer, $2 billion. The wealthiest NBA owner by far made his money by leading Microsoft's development of the .NET framework. Ballmer was then promoted to president of Microsoft, where he sat for quite a while. The Lakers, Jeannie Buss and her family, $67.5 million paid for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Memphis Grizzlies, Robert Pera, $377 million. Founder and CEO of wireless equipment maker Ubiquity Networks. If I've learned anything from that list, it's to get into private equity and build a business if you want to own an NBA team. There is also an NBA team that's publicly traded. That would be the New York Knicks. Not financial advice. If you want to see me break down more of the stories of how people became owners, definitely subscribe for more. I'll be sure to do the NFL, the MLB, and any other leagues that people are interested in. So comment below what you'd like to hear. Some of those stories too deserve their own videos.